All right, so here we go, section 2, and we're talking about taxes, and these are employee taxes. So each individual owes the government money, and we're talking about how much money we need to the business will pull out and then pay to the government on behalf of the employee. So there's three main ones we're going to talk about. We have federal, Social Security, and Medicare. You also have state, but the book doesn't deal with state because each state's different. So just know that in real life you also pay taxes to the state of Kansas or whatever state you may work in, but we're going to ignore that for this example. So the first one we do here is federal income tax withholding. And this is a big complicated formula of how to figure this up. And so the easiest way to use is a chart, and that chart is found on page 347 and 348. When you hear in the news, like on CNN or Fox News, the newspaper, and you see that people are debating, Trump's tax plan or something like that, this is typically what they're debating about here: how much taxes you're going to have withheld. They're debating other things like corporate taxes and stuff as well. But when you talk about like taxes coming out to individual people, this is typically the category that they're talking about, because this would be the same way no matter where you live. The only thing that differs on this is how much money you earn. And so typically the way it is the less you earn, the less percentage you owe, and the more you make, a higher percentage you owe. But what kind of shifts and change from year to year or from presidency to presidency is what percentage you're paying. So sometimes, maybe the rich will pay a higher percentage, or maybe a lower percentage, and the middle class will pay a higher or lower percentage. And so these numbers kind of, increase and decrease as different years go by, and different Congresses and presidencies kind of vote and debate this. So just know that this is typically what's in the news and what's being debated. So let's figure out how to do this. So again, it's kind of you can't just simply take what you earn times a percentage. It matters whether you're married or single. It also matters the number of withholding allowances you have. So if you had more kids, you're going to have more withholding allowances because you owe less taxes. If you had less, if you're just a single person, you may have one withholding allowance, or you may claim 0 withholding allowances for tax purposes. And so you're going to pay more in taxes. And so instead of trying to figure out a big complicated formula, we simply look at charts. So if you look at the chart on page 347 or 348, we can go from there and we can look at those things, those charts. So if I look here, I've took a picture of the book, and you see I've got the married chart here and the single chart here. So know that it's really easy to mix 2 pages up. So the single and the married are different rates. So I may make the same amount of money, but the single and married will be different. So if you use the wrong number for the problem, you're going to have the wrong number. So if we look here, you'll see that Eric Bates is married with 2 allowances, and he made $1,090. So if we go back to our paper here, we see that we have single. So we'll go back to the married chart. He has, zoom in a little bit. Here are the number of dependencies we have. So he has 2, so we're going to use this column here, and he earned $1,090. So we're going to come over here and find the number for 1,090, and the number's got to fit in there. So you see I have 1080 and 1100, so it's going to fit in that chart. I come back over to column 2, and I can see that he owes $50 in taxes. So I go back to the Excel document. I'm going to put in $50, and there we go. And so now I'm going to figure out Jason's amount here. He's single with 1 dependency, and he made $840. So I go back to the chart, and I need to go to the single chart. And let's see here. It's being slow. Here you go. So here's the single chart. He's claiming 1, so I'm going to use this chart right here, and he earned $840. So I'll find 840. And you'll see that 840 is listed on here twice. And so that isn't a typo, but if you look here, it says at least, but less than. So he earned, and he's got to be at least 840, but less than 840. So if you think about it this way, he did not earn less than 840, so we've got to use this 840 here. So we go 840 and go over. So we see $77 is what he owes right there. So we'll go back to Excel. We'll throw in $77. And we got 2 more to do. So we got Christy, married with 3. So married with 3, and she made 1020. So we go over here, we find 1020, and again, it can't be less than 1020, so we go 1020. She has 3 dependencies, so it'd be $31. And now, last but not least, Sharon, single with 2 dependencies. So we go over here, and we've got single, and she has 2 dependencies, and she earned $980, and 980. We'll go 980, and she owes $98 in tax. So we come back to Excel. She owes $98. So this is the complicated one. I guarantee you, everybody will probably miss one in this column at some point in the chapter. It's easy to mix up the lines, so double check, make sure those are correct numbers. Now we get to the easy part. So Social Security is always 6.2% of what you make. So I'm going to do equal the number I made times 6.2%. So if I did 6.2, that would be wrong. Okay. If I did that, you'll see here that the number is $6,700. I cannot pay more in taxes than I earn. So that number is wrong. It doesn't pass the common sense test. So to do percentages, I've got to change this from 6.2, and I go 0.062, and now I owe $67.58 in Social Security tax. So that makes sense. So instead of 6.2%, it's 0.062. So I put it in decimal format, and I get a number that makes sense. So I can just fill that down if I'd like. And there we go. So I got my Social Security tax. And then finally, Medicare tax withholding, I'm going to go equal the amount I made in times, this is going to be 1.45. But again, I can't type it in as 1.45. I got to type it in as 0.0145. There we go. So 1581, and I can fill handle down. And there we go. So those are the taxes that I owe. And on the next exercise, we'll talk about how we're going to put it into our accounting records.